I don't know. I'd say I'm reasonable.
Okay, that's completely unreasonable.
I'm reasonable.
I'm unreasonable.
You have no idea just how reasonable I have been.
Reasonable synonyms are sensible, rational, practical, fair, appropriate.
Fitting, suitable, logical.
All things I would definitely say describe me.
Do they describe you?
Welcome to I'm Reasonable with Zainab Johnson.
I'm reasonable. What is up, you guys? You listen, y'all are getting me in my character hair and makeup in rare form, okay? Because I am on set. I'm clearly in my trailer. And yeah, I'm waiting for my scene to come up to film. And I also wanted to give you guys a podcast. It's the last day. This is actually the second to last day of us filming Upload. Tomorrow is the last day. And it's honestly, you guys, it's so sad. It's so sad. But what's crazy is I was supposed to be wrapped last week. I was supposed to be wrapped last week, and then the schedule got extended. And then I found out that I was filming all the way up until the end. So, my makeup looks a little bit red right now. Anyway, I don't have on my character's clothing, but I do have on her makeup, her eyelashes, her wig, etc. Anywho, hey you guys, welcome to another episode of I'm Reasonable with Zainab Johnson. I am Zainab Johnson, currently looking like Alicia Morrison Downey, which is my character's name. Okay. On a scale from the coldest winter ever to the most perfect summer day, how reasonable have we been this week? This week the reason why I asked is because, I'm filming in Vancouver and it got cold. It got cold today to the point where my throat definitely felt assaulted. My throat was like I did not give consent. If you're trying to live past today, you might want to get some wool around your neck. So just FYI, your neck can't handle this temperature. So do something quick or we will politely put in our 2 minutes notice. But then my friend in LA was like, I was like, yo, it's getting so cold in Vancouver and I'm not prepared. I got to get up out of here. And she was like, I got to get up out of here. Why did I sound so LA? Because I got to get up out of here. She was like, we need some of that cool air here. It's like 95 degrees in LA. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. But my neck was listening. They say that you can tell a person's age from their neck. I saw a comment a couple of weeks ago in the on one of the podcasts. The girl says, so wait, so what happened to your tooth? Did you get it fixed? And I said, girl, no, I'm filming with a chipped tooth. But I do have an appointment with my dentist next Thursday. Okay. I tried to get in as early as Monday and he was not available. So I do have an appointment for a cleaning and a cosmetic fixing on Thursday. Next Thursday, not this Thursday, because this Thursday I will still be filming Upload. Anywho, okay, so this week, we're going to talk about the heavily requested Atlanta story. I just threw that out there thinking y'all wasn't even going to be paying attention. But many of the comments was like, girl, run that Atlanta story. Run it. So we're going to talk about the Atlanta story. We're going to talk about the first and only vice presidential debate that was hosted by CBS News last night, which is why this is actually late. I had time yesterday, early in the morning to tape yesterday, but I really wanted to watch the debate first. And so that's why you guys are getting it now, because I filmed until very late yesterday and whatever. And we do have an Ask Z. I actually checked the Zainab Comedy VIP at Gmail inbox. And we have a couple of Ask Z's. So we are going to have an Ask Z at the end of this episode. But first, as always, let's talk about where you guys can see me live. I see so many comments are like, yo, I got to come to your show. I got to see you live. Well, this is where I will be. First of all, if I'm not coming to a city near you, you guys know you can watch any clips that I post online. You can watch my special Hijabs Off, which is available on Prime Video. You can also watch the full-length crowd work show that I posted. It is right on YouTube. You just go to my page. It's probably suggested when you watch this video. But if you want to see me live, October 18th and 19th, I'll be in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. October 25th and 26th, I will be in Detroit, Michigan. November 1st and 2nd, I'll be in Denver, Colorado. November 8th and 9th, I'll be in St. Paul, Minnesota. Y'all was like, she hitting that Minnesota real hard from that mistake the other week. Minnesota. November 8th and 9th, that's where I'll be. November 11th, I will be in Amsterdam, the Netherlands. November 14th, I will be in Geneva, Switzerland. I believe that the Geneva show is the only show that has not gone on sale yet. It is a part of a festival, and when that festival is announced, the tickets will go on sale. So if you're like, oh my God, did I miss out? You have not missed out, I don't think. I believe that they will be on sale at the end of this week. That is Geneva, November 14th. Then November 15th and 16th, I will be in Paris. I added those two late shows, so November 15th and 16th. The 7 p.m. shows are already sold out, but there are tickets available for the 9:30 p.m. shows. That is November 15th and 16th in Paris, France. Then November 18th through the 23rd, I will be in London, England. I will be in London, November 18th through the 23rd. A good amount of those shows are sold out. I actually went through and I was looking at shows. If you go to Soho Theatre in London, if you go to their website, you're going to see every show says last few. It either says sold out or last few. And I think we added some late shows. In those shows, there's like 6 seats in a show, 12 seats in a show. So the tickets are going fast. We are about a month and a half away. And I just really want to tell you guys, when they're gone, they're gone. Don't message me. I know I'd be generous. Like, damn, if y'all missed out, hit me up. I'll figure it out. Nope. Because I've been saying it. I've been saying it for weeks now. Nope. No. If you there, we're going to have a good time. If you missed it, damn, you better hope I post something from it. November 18th through the 23rd, London. December 29th through November 29th through December 1st, Ontario, California. December 4th, Austin, Texas. December 4th, Austin, Texas. December 6th through the 8th, Houston, Texas. December 31st, San Jose, California. January 3rd and 4th, Seattle, Washington. That's a new date that was added. January 3rd and 4th, Seattle. January 9th for one night only, Raleigh, North Carolina. January 16th through the 18th, that's Washington, D.C. 16th through the 18th, Washington, D.C. That's after the election. That's top of the year. That's everybody back in office. What we talking about, D.C.? What we talking about? I cannot wait. I cannot wait. January 16th through the 18th, Washington, D.C. February 21st through the 23rd, Chicago. And April 11th and 12th, Toronto, Canada. Toronto, Canada. I'm sitting here in this, y'all like, oh, it's cold in Vancouver. I run cold already. So, but regardless of the time of year, in our closets, they always have warming jackets for us. They always have pajamas. They always have sweatpants. Like, aside from the character's wardrobe that we have to put on, they also always have like comfy clothes and warming clothes and Uggs and stuff like that. So they, we're actors. They're like, we need to keep them as happy as possible so that when they get on screen, they do what they got to do. Anywho, more cities are going to be announced, but if you are near those cities, then make sure you get tickets. The link to the tickets are in the details of this podcast. While I have you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed, the subscriptions are growing. I see you and I appreciate you and I thank you. The subscriptions are growing. The numbers are growing. It's like, it's not surprising. That's not the word, but it's affirming. It's really like so delightful and affirming, and also kind of like, I was going to say, you feel a little bit more pressure, because if you're a person at all that does not want to disappoint, if you're a person that is asking for people to show up, and you want to meet them, you also got to show up. You know what I'm saying? You want to meet them where they're at, then you be like, dang, it's more people here. That mean I got to be good. That mean I got to show up. That mean I can't disappoint. I ain't gonna let that bog me down too much. But I appreciate y'all. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. If you like what you're hearing, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, and go ahead and share it with somebody who you think will also enjoy it. All right. Last year, towards the end of the year, it's funny because I'm telling y'all this story about Atlanta, and I feel like one of the first podcast episodes that I taped was also this same trip, when I told y'all it was the Ask Z. I think it's the first episode of I'm Reasonable, and I talk about the driver in Atlanta. And then I got to Charlotte and whatever. You got to go back to episode 1 to hear that story. But I just think that I don't know, it's ironic that there's another story to come of that same trip. Yep. Do I have some time? How much time do I have? Am I coming back here? Like, how long do they need me? I'm taping something right now. I'm not coming back? Oh, like 30 minutes. Okay, thanks. So y'all see, I got to be done in 30 minutes. Okay. Okay, so I'm in Atlanta. Wonderful actress that I grew up watching. She executively produced and starred in a pilot, and she reached out to me and was like, I'm such a fan of yours, and I would really love to have you be a part of this pilot. And, this character is a Muslim woman, and I just couldn't think of anybody else, that I would like to like really portray this character than you, right? And I also would like you to bring like your information and sensibilities and all that to it, right? My schedule was really tight. I was so flattered, and I really enjoyed the script, and I am a fan, like I said, of this actress, and so I of course wanted to lend any talent that I have, and I really wanted to be a part of it. My schedule was really tight at the time, and so they flew me to Atlanta. I'm gonna just call it a Thursday and a Friday, but it wasn't a Thursday and a Friday. It's just so that I can keep the story straight, right? It's funny because I'm gonna name this episode "Fact Checking." I'm about to say, just so ain't nobody trying to fact check me, right? So, let's say they flew me to Atlanta on Thursday, right? I'm flying from LA, so already I'm losing 3 hours of time, right? I get to, I might have had to do something like I may have got on the latest flight out of LA that could get me to Atlanta that same night, right? When I get to Atlanta, I check into the hotel. Then they grab me from the hotel. No, matter of fact, I don't even go to the hotel yet. I go right to the fitting, right? That's how late I get in. I go right to the fitting. I have a fitting with a woman. She was wonderful. The costume designer on this particular pilot presentation. I do the fitting. We have a little bit of a meeting. Everybody comes and introduces themselves to me. They give me a warm welcome, all of that type of stuff, right? They take me back to my hotel, and we're going to film all day the next day. So all day Friday, right? We're going to film the next day, all day Friday. They're going to pick me up probably like 4:30, 5 in the morning, and I'm going to film all day. And then the next day, so let's say I fly in on Thursday, I get there Thursday night, I'm going to film from when it's dark until it's dark again. I'm going to film for a very long day on Friday, and then I'm out. Like, I don't even really have time to go to sleep in between us rapping and me getting on a flight to go back to LA, right? So I'm getting on a flight at like 6 a.m. in the morning, and a car is coming to pick me up probably like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, right? So I get the bright idea the night before. I get the bright idea when I get back to the hotel room Thursday night. I get the bright idea like, oh, my favorite gluten-free bakery is in Atlanta. Dang, I wish that I could. It's like, I don't like everything from them. I actually don't like the majority of things that they have. But there are like 3 things that hands down for me, if I had a jet, I would fly like once a week to get these things from them, right? And so there's a gluten-free bakery in like the Five Points area, I believe, of Atlanta. And they have very strict hours, not strict hours, but they have very limited hours. And I even went online, right? I went to their website and was like, let me see if I could just get like an order. Let me see if I could get it delivered to me on set. If I could get it delivered on set, then I'll get treats like for everybody, right? So I see that they don't do, they do pre-orders, but it's like you got to order well in advance, right? They don't do, not directly from their website, they don't do like delivery orders, stuff like that. You can't even order to pick up, right? It's also a bakery where, like, if let's say they open at 8 o'clock in the morning and they close at like noon, they don't even, they only make, they always sell out. So when you get there, there's always a line. Like if you get there first thing in the morning, there's always a line. And their business model is they don't like to waste. So they're not making it so that they have inventory for the entire day. They're making it, and it's like we're open until we sell out. It's like one of those types of places, right? And so if I like something, no, it's the best of what they got there. And I say that quite humbly. But if I like something, know that it's probably the best of what that place offers, because I'm so picky. I'm so particular. It's very rare, unless we just got vastly different, drastically different diets, that I recommend something to somebody and they like, it's like, yeah, because I'm the worst. So when I say something is the best, it's the best, right? So the stuff I like sell out quick. Anywho, I look at Uber Eats, I look at Postmates, I look at DoorDash, I look at all of them things. Like maybe I could just, I even think about it like, dang, can I just, I got an ex-boyfriend that live in Atlanta. I almost was like, WID. I didn't, because I'm a grown, mature adult. But I almost, that's how bad I wanted it, right? So then I said, you know what? I never did this before, which is, remember I asked you guys last week, is it reasonable for people to rely on like their fan base, their group of supporters? You know, is it reasonable to like ask of things, right? And so this was aside from when I asked y'all, anybody live in Indianapolis, and I think yesterday I posted on my Instagram like I need some help with the spelling of Zainab, like because I'm creating like some stuff. It's very rare that I'm like, all I be asking y'all to do is buy tickets and subscribe. Watch, buy tickets, engage, subscribe, right? But I ain't sending y'all, to the to Juniors in Brooklyn to get no cheesecake. Why we had to bring Diddy in the room today? Anywho, this was the first time when I was in Atlanta. This was the first time where I was like, ooh, I'm so nervous, but I'm going to do it because I really want this. To be honest with y'all, if I'm being for real with you guys, I was like, I ain't about to hit up nobody none, my ex or none, but I'm going to just post it. And if he see it and wants to do it, I didn't ask. Because like I'm mature, but I'm not the highest level of maturity. You know what I'm saying? If he offered, I would accept, but I wasn't about to text his phone. But if he looked at my story and was like, I'm going to do that for her, then that would have been very sweet. Anywho, now I'm getting hot because y'all, I got on this coat and I got the heat on too. So I do a post on Instagram. I do a story on Instagram, and I was like, hey, I really love this bakery and at this gluten-free bakery in Atlanta. And at the time, my allergy was still very bad. It's getting better, but it was still very bad. And so I was like, I really like this place. If you're in Atlanta and you want to go take care of this, like, I'll treat you, I'll pay for it, I'll pay for your travel, like all of this type of stuff, right? I'm like, let me just see what happens. I got not so many. I got a good amount. Of people, like so many people, but matter of fact, I got a lot of people, but it just was a little bit too late, right? But one of the first people, I'm going to look at your profile. If you like, I could do something for you. I'm going to be very honest with y'all. I'm going to try and look at your profile and see if you somebody that I could engage with in person. Because, some of y'all, with love, ain't safe. And it's not that you gonna kill me. It's just that you gonna try and keep me to yourself as long as you can. You know what I'm saying? So you just gonna make sure the conversation, you know what I'm saying? You just ain't safe, really. You gonna be like, you know me more than you actually really know me. And then I gotta be the one to be like, remember that thing called the boundary? So I'm gonna look at your page and see if you feel reasonable, right? Like if you one of my reasonable fans. So this girl hit me. She seemed reasonable. She seemed like she got something to lose. That's what I be looking for. Who got something to lose, right? So she hits me up and she was like, oh my God, Zainab, this would be so easy. And I know I go there all the time. And I said, oh, see, so that makes it great for me because it's like, the protocol, right? So she was like, yeah, I go there all the time. And so I was like, oh my God. I was like a little bit in disbelief. I was like, well, are you sure? Because I don't, I just want to make sure I'm not putting, that sort of thing, right? But genuinely. And she was like, no. She was like, I actually love that place too. And I go there all the time. And I was like, oh, great. That's wonderful. Well, I could get you something from here too if you want. I think I said that. I'm not sure. But I think I said that. And so I said, but the things that I want, you got to get there when they first open. And I said, I think they open at 9 and you got to I said, and there's a line. And so you got to get there when they first open because they sell out quick. She says, because she been there before, right? She go there all the time because she loved them. She said, no, I know exactly what you mean. And they don't open at 9, they open at 8. And I'm like, oh, shoot, thanks for telling me. Because I feel like the stuff that I like be selling out so quick. Like, I'm not saying this to her, but in my mind, I'm like, she really know. Because look at her telling me, I thought they open at 9, but she know the actual time. So she's like, they open at 8. I was like, okay, great. Just hit me up tomorrow, when you get there, and then I'll send you the address. I was like, I'm not sure if I'm going to be on. I was like, once you get them, you don't have to bring them directly to me. It's totally up to you. I don't want to like inconvenience your day. You could either bring them to the hotel. You could, and I was staying like by the Lenox Mall or something like that, right? I'm like, you could bring them to the hotel. You could bring them to the set. I said, you could wait until your whole day is over. You could wait until I'm wrapped, and then, I said, I'll keep you posted. And we could just talk throughout the day and we could see what's most convenient for you, right? I said, but just let me know once you got them. I go to sleep. I'm feeling great. My belief that there is such generosity and kindness in people is, is high. And I go to the next day, I go to the set, I'm filming, we're having a wonderful time. It's really a wonderful experience, a very new experience for me because as you may know, if you work in the film business in Atlanta, everybody be black on the set, which is like a beautiful thing to see. And it's not very common. And so there were so many black in every position. It was a black person and so many black women. And it just was like, it was just a really nice experience to have. And so, I ain't really think about the bakery. I ain't really think about it. But then I get a text from the girl at like 2 something, maybe 1 something in the afternoon, very close to closing. And she says, hey, I'm pulling up now. Huh? don't say, huh? Because I was asking for a favor. I just gotta listen and let it unfold. She said, yeah, I'm pulling up now. I'll let you know when I'm leaving. And I was like, oh, okay. Now in my mind, I'm like, she pulling up now. No, something must have happened with Verizon or Apple or AT&T, whoever provider she has. Something must have happened because we talked about this yesterday. I specifically and very clearly said the stuff that I like is going to sell out. And so you got to get there when it first opens at 9. She said, oh no, they don't open at 9. They open at 8. Bet. So why is it hours into the afternoon? It's like 12, 1 or 2, you guys. And you texted me saying you about to be there. But okay, optimistic Z, toxic trait, optimism, cup always half full. You know what? I don't know what happened, but they going to have what I like. She texted me again. Hey, I'm here. This is all they got left. Y'all think I want any of the things that they got left? Don't nobody want the stuff they got left. That's why they got them left. Now, I'm going to be very honest with y'all. In my soul, I wanted to be like, now what the fuck was that? I wanted to be like, in my soul, I wanted to turn green, break through all my clothes, and look like I had gamma rays. In my soul, I became Marvel's The Hulk. In my soul. But outside, I couldn't do none of that. Because I had to remember that I had asked for a favor. I had to remember that I am a public-facing person. And while I truly believe she was dead ass wrong, while I truly, in my soul, believe she was dead ass wrong, I just was like, oh, okay, just get whatever, I don't know, you choose. Thank you so much. Like, I really appreciate you. This was so kind of you. When really in my mind, I was like, is you stupid or is you dumb? In my mind, in my heart, on the inside. But on the outside, I was like, this is so wonderful. Thank you. Let me know how much it costs. Let me know how much the shit I don't want costs. Let me know exactly how much the shit I don't want costs. I sent her the money for what I paid for. I believe I told her get herself something, and guess what? Threw her some extra cash just for the trouble. Because I could not afford for me to say what was in my soul, which ain't even got to be disrespectful, but like, hold on a second. Did we not have a conversation and reach a level of understanding and comprehension that goes completely against the actions that have been taken now? So that I don't feel like I am crazy. Did something happen and you just thought like, or do you just be talking and then doing the opposite and you don't give up? But see, I couldn't say none of that because you know how people be like, oh, story time. Let me tell y'all about how I tried to go get this famous comedian. I don't know if they're going to call me famous. Let me tell y'all how I was going to get this. They fuck around trying to play you in the story. This C-level comedian. Let me tell y'all how I was trying to be nice and help this comedian out when she was in town. And then she flipped out on me and blase, 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 blah. And all I was trying to do, like, I ain't nobody even have to do it. And here's the thing, you guys. I spoke to her the night before. And I had already confirmed with her. When I woke up the next morning, I had friends in Atlanta that I be forgetting to think about. Like friends from like childhood, relatives. I got cousins in Atlanta. I had so many people hit me up like, Z, what you need? Where's the bakery? And I was like, oh, thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Because I had already established her and I, we got a good thing going. she dropped off the pastries, the gluten-free pastries, and I took them down to the front desk at the hotel, and I said, I'm not sure if anybody has a gluten allergy, but if you would like any of these pastries, feel free, enjoy. And I was pissed. And I mean, because I couldn't, all I could do was save face. Inside, my face was like, outside though, I was like, y'all tell me who was unreasonable in that story. And let me tell y'all, I've told maybe 3 of my closest friends this story because, and all of them be like, oh, I would have said something. Oh, I would have. And I'm like, no, because I watch the stories a lot where they be like, oh, and then I saw Carrie Hilson and she did this. And I'm like, I don't know if that person's really a bitch or if you just did, or if, like, is this the full story? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always like that because I'm a person, like, everybody know me. I want to be surrounded with intelligent and smart people. And that don't even mean book smarts. I like a smart kid. I like a smart baby. I like a smart adult. I like people that's quick. I like people that's truthful. And I don't mean like just like, oh, they're honest, but I mean, will call me out on my shit. I love being around. I love surrounding myself with those type of people, even when that's hard sometimes. It's hard to have the friend that's always going to be like, I got to call you out, because that's hard. But that keeps you accountable. They was like, oh, no, you should have said something. I was like, no. Because I just really, and so I didn't even tell the story. I ain't tell the story on stage. Because I thought about it last week. If she watching, why did you do that, girl? Why did you do that? I appreciate the offer, but the execution, nasty work. Y'all know I love that term. All right. Let's talk about this presidential debate, which is good because I don't have much time to talk about anything else, but we're going to do the Ask Z too. Okay, so did y'all watch the vice presidential debate? It was hosted by CBS News. Obviously, Governor Tim Walz from Minnesota and Senator J.D. Vance from Ohio. I'm going to be honest with y'all, I was nervous at the beginning. So the virtual coin toss was won by J.D. Vance, and so that means that Tim Walz started the debate, but J.D. Vance was able to have the last little 2-minute soliloquy or whatever, right? Monologue, whatever. Closing statement, closing argument. But when it first started, I was so nervous because I know that Tim Walz said that he told Kamala this when she was first meeting with the different VP possibilities, right? And he was like, one of my weak points is like debating, and he did. It was like them first few minutes, I was like, oh no, he can't talk, he can't think, he can't. But then he slowly, you know what it took? It just took J.D. Vance saying one rabbit ass lie for Tim Walz to be like, okay, now wait a minute. Oh, here's the thing that I like about Tim Walz, and I'm gonna be really objective in my little notes and then get up out of here. Clearly, I don't like J.D. Vance. I told y'all he looked like a villain to me. He looked like a comic book villain. At first, I couldn't figure out why he looked like a comic book villain, but now I know it's because he be wearing all of that black eyeliner on his lower lid. His waterline, lined every day. He fucking around lying that. I want to see what he look like when he wake up, because he don't wake up like that. But that black eyeliner be right on. He be looking like Elizabeth Taylor when she was trying to be Cleopatra. And I think people be asking about, he was like, I don't know what y'all talking about. This is my natural eye. And these are my eyelashes. Anywho, what I like about Tim Walz, what I was saying is, as much as I am clearly not, and this is not about like identifying as Republican or Democratic. I told you guys, like, I actually identify as a independent, but I do not like Donald J. Trump, and I do not like J.D. Vance. And I don't love the other people, but I don't like them. I don't like them. And that's very clear for me. What I like about Tim Walz, and I was happy I was able to see this during this debate, because let's be for real, it did not have main event energy, right? This entire debate, no main event energy. But what I liked about Tim Walz, Governor Tim Walz, he's so not a politician. Even if he is becoming a politician, just the way he speaks. The way he speaks, he's so, even though he has to do political things and he is governing an office, he's governing a state. He just, in you know, I'd be like, in his soul, in my soul, in their soul, in his soul, he's not a politician. He's not. He speaks very, he kind of speaks almost too honestly. He kind of speak almost too honestly. And I could tell anytime he had to say like Iran, Iraq, like certain things, he would kind of pause. And I think it was because he wanted to make sure he didn't mess up. Like, let me make sure I'm saying the right country. Let me make sure if I'm saying Israel, I'm saying Israel. If I'm saying Iran, I'm saying Iran. Like, there were certain things where he would have this, he would be on a sentence and then he would have this delay. And it's like, you could just tell this is not about age or anything. It's just like, slow down and say the right thing, right? And so when he first started, it was like I got so nervous. It's like watching somebody you love audition for something and they not good, or it starts off rough and you like, oh no, they gonna boo my baby. Oh no. It was like that, right? And then on the flip side, J.D. Vance had a lot of confidence. You could tell this is what he do. It don't matter if it's not true or if it's true or false, but what he gonna do, he gonna talk. He gonna sell you a bill of goods. He gonna sell you a bill of goods. And when you like, J.D. Vance, I bought your bill of goods last week and they was no good. He gonna be like, you know what? I know you think they wasn't no good, but I'm gonna stand up straight. I got my eyeliner on. My hair is coiffed. My hair is listen, I don't know if he is using what mousse or gel, is he using Miss Jessie's, I don't know. But that hair did not move. Okay? That hair did not move. His suit was perfectly tailored. He said, I'm standing here much taller than this man. Like, you could just tell he spoke with ease, although he ain't saying nothing. But that's the thing. If you don't know, he ain't saying. Tim Walz was so nervous at first. Even if he was saying something, I don't know what you're saying because you're nervous. I don't even know what you're saying because I'm so blinded by the discomfort of it all. And then Bozo over here, he ain't saying nothing, but he got so much confidence. I'm tuned in. Vance had one job in this debate, which I think he thinks he accomplished, but I know it's going to bite him in his ass if he becomes vice president. Any rebuttal he has, any talking points he has, it is all to try to convince the American people that anything that you think Kamala can promise you, anything that she says she can do, well, she's been vice president for the past 3.5 years, so why hasn't she done it? Which is kind of stupid. Like, if you know anything about government, if you know anything about our government, the United States government, you know that, all you got to do is watch Scandal. All you got to do is watch every governmental procedural show that they done had on network television to know. Only time the vice president was, and I don't even think he was the vice president. What was Dick Cheney the vice president? That's the only time it wasn't the president really making the move. Because, George W., he was there, but but for the most part, the vice president ain't the one. But that's what J.D. Vance just kept trying to say. Oh yeah, you think she gonna do that? Well, she been there for 3.5 years. Why ain't she doing it? She ain't the president. In the same way that when they asked Trump during his debate, okay, well, what's your plan? I don't know yet. I'm not the president. Yeah. I mean, it was very idiotic for him to say that. But anywho, I know it's going to come back to bite him in the ass, because if he does, I hope he does not, but if he ever, even not in this term, if he ever becomes vice president, people going to be like, well, why ain't you doing it? You vice president. Remember in 2024, you had said to Governor Tim Walz, remember in 2024 during the CBS debate, you had said to Tim Walz, remember when you had said, well, she should have done it as vice president. She was at 3. Well, you've been here for 3.5 years, and what have you done? It's going to come back to bite him in the ass. But he was hitting that talking point. I never... If y'all watch the debate, y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't never heard 2 opposing candidates say, I agree with you so much. Every other sentence, it was like, and I agree with you, and I like what you said, and I felt that, and I would, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's a great point that you brought up. Well, why don't y'all just leave here together, get on the ballot somewhere, and run together? Because it seemed like y'all got a lot in common. They were so polite. And not that I wanted them to be up there acting like buffoons, but every other transition was like, and thank you so much. I will say, that's a good thing. You made a good point. I agree with that. I agree with, what? And I like what governor said. And I like what senator said. Huh? Tim Walz. I know his weakness. I think I know his weakness. I want to make sure I don't want to say stuff and sound like it's a fact when it's not a fact, right? Because I don't need nobody fact checking me. It's like when I be watching, the other night I went down this rabbit hole of Jaguar, right? And I had seen her before, of course, but I just went down this rabbit hole the other night. I couldn't sleep. And she was talking about, here's the thing. Here's the thing about when people talk. If you could convince somebody that you're telling the truth and they could prove something once or twice, then they'll believe your lies. And the reverse is true too. It don't matter how much you tell the truth. If we already believe you a liar, we won't even believe when you say what's true. Jaguar Wright was like, talk about people touching people. And then she said, y'all wondering why Summer Walker got anxiety, why she can't perform, why she don't want to be on tour, because she been touched. Now, I don't know that. I was on the edge of my seat. I said, oh no, Summer Walker been touched. Jaguar Wright gonna say, now I don't know that, but I know when somebody been touched. Let me get up off this social media and take my behind to sleep. Somebody give me some melatonin, close the blackout curtains, turn the lights down. I need to go to sleep. So I don't know Tim Walz's weakness, but when I was watching the debate, the thing that I would have changed if I was like on his debate team, the thing that I would have done is I would have just gave him a little bit of bite back. That's all he needed. He needed like a good clap back. You get what I'm saying? Like he would answer more of the questions directly. And I got to be honest with y'all, this debate, watching it, I don't know if y'all remember that joke. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna share the joke. And it's like, you got to be careful because guys don't be answering questions. Like they gonna answer a question, but it ain't the question you asked them. That was this debate. The moderators was like, but please answer the question we asked you. They was like, lady, it's not going to happen. Tim Walz, he just need that clap back energy. So he will call Vance out. He would fact check him, but he wouldn't do it in a way did you know, like I would have, this is all, it would have changed the debate like a little bit. It would have made it more main eventy, right? If Walz was like, that's wrong. Like if his response was more like this, that's wrong. But let me tell you what's not wrong. Kamala's plan for ... Oh, no, Senator Vance, that is revisionist history. So let me school you like I school my fourth graders. Like he needed the I'ma stop you, I'ma correct you, and I'ma guide you where I need you to go. That's what he needed. When they asked him about the discrepancy in his timeline, he'd be talking about he was in China. And they was like, it's a discrepancy. You said you was there at this time, but sources say that you wasn't there this time. You know what I'm saying? He told the truth. He said I misspoke. After she pressed him, he was like, I misspoke. I misspoke, which is fine. We misspoke, which is why I'm telling y'all the story. And I'm like, I think it was like 12-1. You know what I'm saying? But it's fine to not be there the exact time you said, but was you in China or not? That's what we don't like. You wasn't even in China. Oh no, we can't mess with you. You ain't never been. You ain't even got a passport. Oh no, we gotta get you out of here. That's too much of a lie for us. That's crazy. Anywho, I was so cold when I started. Now I'm hot. So when they asked him that, he said he misspoke. But what he should have said, I misspoke. I may have misremembered. That's what he said. I may have misremembered. He should have said, I may have misremembered. But let me tell you who has not misspoken. Donald J. Trump, when he says that the 2020 election was stolen from him. You know what I'm saying? You got to correct it and then bring it back. Yeah, no. But let me tell you what. Yeah. But let me do this. I hear you saying that, but let me say this. I know you think that, but let me teach you this. Yeah, damn Vance, right? He will cha-cha slide out of an answer, right? What's this? Slide to the left. Vance, you need to answer these questions. 3 hops now. Do you agree with Trump saying that the election in 2020 was stolen? That really, he couldn't. I mean, he really was. You know what I'm saying? He really was trying to hopscotch out of that question, and he just couldn't. So much so that one of the moderators. I only know Nora's name. I don't know the other moderator's name because Nora wasn't doing nothing. She wasn't fighting. I just kept hearing the other moderator be like, "Nora, Nora, did you have Nora?" I said, Nora's sitting over there, light work, just reading the questions. But it was some question around the election or something. And JD Vance, he did his hopscotch to not talking about nothing. And then the moderator was like, Senator, you still have because they get 2 minutes to answer the question. She was like, Senator, you still have 28 questions. Could you please answer the question? I mean, you still have 28 seconds. Could you please answer the questions? He was like, 2 hops this time. Slide to the right. Then when he finally did answer the question, he was like, I come from a middle class family. This the most middle class family candidates I ever seen in my life. Everybody start every answer. How you feel? What you gonna do about climate change? Well, let me tell you, I come from a middle class family. My mother had to work this and my father had to do that. And we believe it. What you feel about voter fraud? Let me tell you, I come from a middle class family. I was in a suburban, in a rural neighborhood. And I think maybe they be leaning into the middle class because Trump be over here like, I have all the money in the world. And if you let me, I will get more money than even China. Maybe that's why these are the most middle class assing candidates I ever seen in my life. To the point where I never felt this way, but every time they start a sentence with like, I come from a humble upbringing, I don't even care no more. And you was poor, and you was from a single mother, and what about this economy, my G? What about immigration, my G? Speaking of which, JD Vance kept trying to sneak that in immigration in, right? Because that's like Kamala's Achilles heel, because as VP, that's what she was on, right? But let me tell you what that Governor Tim Walz know, and he couldn't wait to get there. He know healthcare. Oh, he know healthcare. And he got a plan for healthcare, and he is very proud of what he has done as governor for the state of Minnesota in their healthcare. And let me tell you something. JD Vance was just like, how am I going to bring this back to Kamala? And what she didn't do in the 3.5 years she was here. Damn. I come from a middle class background, and my mother really needed some help. The funniest thing to me was how they was fact checking JD Vance. That got to be a hard thing. That has to be a hard thing to be in mid sentence all the time. And as soon as you hit that period on a sentence, people are like, I have to fact check you. What you're saying is incorrect. I have to fact check you. That has been disproven. It has been proven to be untrue. After every sentence, I would be like, you know what? Let me try something new. Let me tell the truth. Can you imagine that? Guys, can you imagine being friends? Could you imagine somebody in your real life fact checking every time you say something? Yeah, girl, I ain't even call him back. Actually, I got to fact check you. He didn't call you back. Yeah, girl, because I've been on my fitness journey. I got to fact check you. Yeah, fitness is described as moving one's body and burning calories. And unfortunately, you're not accomplishing that sitting on the couch scrolling. Well, I'm so proud of my little son. He getting all A's in school. I got to fact check you. Your son hasn't seen a vowel or arithmetic yet. Could you imagine? It's like he got to do something because it's too many fact checks. And they just be having the same face. You see in the presidential debate when they was fact checking Trump, he was just like, JD Vance got a little bit more decorum. You know what I'm saying? Because he probably ain't been a brat all his life because he did come from a middle class, home. So when they fact check him, he just be taking it to the chest, which I can appreciate. He just take it to the chest. Where, Trump, he was like, they was on the TV. I saw it on the TV. They're eating the cats and the dogs. They just be fact checking his ass. My favorite moment from Tim Walz was JD Vance had said something. I can't remember what it was. And he was in it had something to do with the ASA. And this was the most candid moment, in my opinion, that Tim Walz had when he was like, because they really be trying to lean in heavy when they talking about women's rights and abortions and all of that. They really be telling you like all of these personal stories. I feel like I know the women. I ain't never heard of these women on the news, nothing. But now after seeing these debates, I'm like, where's she? Oh man, did she already had a funeral? I got to send flowers. You know what I'm saying? Like they be really leaning into that. But that's still like a talking, that's still planned, But when he said, now this is where being an old man pays off. When he said that, I said, there you go. You done hit your stride. We close to the end of the race, but you done hit your stride today. Rounds of applause for Tim Walz. This is, now this is where it pays. And he said it so candidly, so relaxed. Now this is where it pays. And I know, don't nobody want to be an old man in this race, right? But this is where it pays to be an old man. When you was around before the stuff you talking about, I was around when this was in place. And let me tell you, it was not good. That is why this is in place now. You trying to bring it back to that, but you wasn't there. And here's the thing about JD Vance. He an 80s baby. I'm an 80s baby too. You know what we do? It's so disrespectful. If anything happened before our year of birth, we don't know nothing about it. 80s, it's some about an 80s baby, not a millennial specifically, but an 80s baby. We be like, when was that? Yeah, no, that was before my time. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I can't go back. What? We'll try. We'll try to go back to history with you. We'll try to go back. We'll go as far back as when our parents got together, but that's it. Wait, what? That happened when? 1975. My parents didn't even know each other. I'm so sorry. That's before my time. I'm so sorry. You know what's the opposite of a fact checker? It just hit me. You know what's the opposite of a fact checker? A yes man. A yes man is the opposite of a fact checker. So I guess we really do need more fact checkers. Diddy's life might be different today. Damn, how did he get back in the chat, right? Diddy's life might be different today if there weren't people like, yeah, you could do it. If there were enough people when he was like, take that, they like, you gonna take your ass to jail with this dumb shit. The opposite of a fact checker is a yes man. All right, that's all I got for the debate, you guys. And I'm sure they're going to come and call me any minute. So let's get to this Ask Z really quick. This Ask Z, I'm going to keep them anonymous, given the content. Hey, Ms. Z. Hey. I'm just going to call them. What should I call them? I'm going to call them Erykah Badu. I'm going to call them Young Erykah. That's what I'm going to call them. Young Erykah. Spelled with a Y and a K and an A and an H. Young Erykah. Hey, Ms. Zainab. First off, just want to say that I absolutely love your podcast and hope to see you in person one day. I hope that you see me in person one day, too. And make sure you come up to me and be like, girl, it's me. You call me Young Erykah. As for my Ask Z, is it reasonable as a high school student to get mad at a guy for saying KYS to one of our classmates? I'm going to be very honest with you guys. When I first saw Is It Reasonable as a high schooler, I was like, you in high school? Listening to me? Oh no. What have I said? I was trying to backtrack. Like, have I behaved myself on this podcast? Have I been using appropriate language? But damn, me and my little grown age, born in the 80s, coming. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Y'all heard that? I got 15 minutes. Which is the perfect amount of time. They probably felt me like, you over there showing your neck. Get to the Ask Z. Is it reasonable as a high school student to get mad at a guy for saying KYS to one of our classmates? For those who don't know the acronym KYS, it means kill yourself. And it's usually, I don't know, said or texted or written or whatever to after like an embarrassing moment. Like, I don't know if people are literally, I think there is a such thing as like bullying and stuff like that, especially amongst young people. But it's also said in like text form and on social media, like, you know, like when somebody does something embarrassing, you know, it's like a dramatic reaction to, anywho. I struggled with suicidal thoughts last year. And with therapy and time, I have been able to work on myself, and I have tried to move on from the past. I reacted very strongly to him saying that because it is definitely a trigger word. He has done this before, and I had a full-on panic attack, to which he told me he was sorry, and he said he would not do it again. I understand that sometimes people joke, but when does the joke go too far? P.S. Sorry if this is unorganized. It wasn't. Young Erykah, it was not. Best, Young Erykah. So, one, thank you so much for listening. And also thank you for sharing, because thank you for sharing. And also, I'm really sorry. I'm sad to hear that you've struggled with suicidal thoughts, but I'm really glad to hear that you've sought therapy, and that you have been able to work on yourself to hopefully move past those thoughts. And I understand trigger words. I remember I did a joke, and I talked about, I said, women, you know, I was like trying to like own people calling women crazy. Like, yeah, we crazy. We only crazy because you make us crazy, right? And I ask the audience, I'm like, oh, how many women in here can admit that they're crazy? And a lot of women, of course, will applaud and stuff like that. And then I'll say, like, and if you in here and if you're a woman and you in here and you don't think you crazy, it's like HPV. It's in there. It's just lying dormant. And that used to get a really big laugh when I did it. I don't do it anymore because it was tape that's out there in the world. And I remember I got this long message. I mean, long message. And this woman was triggered, and she was like, "You went from being my favorite comedian, and I can't believe that you would, And I had to kind of talk her down. I really had to talk her down, and get her to realize that, like, it's a trigger word for, first of all, I didn't actually say anything bad. Even if it is a trigger word for you, I didn't, it's like, there's certain words that are trigger words for me, but like, I ain't about to be running, losing my mind, pulling out my hair because I hear other people's chatter, But then I asked her, I was like, oh, like there's so many things that trigger so many people. So like right now it's HPV for you. And I'm so sorry that this is your circumstance. I was like, but when Dave Chappelle says this, did you laugh? And when so-and-so says this, and when, Chelsea Handler says this, do you laugh? And she was like, now that you mention it, I have laughed at fat jokes. I have laughed at gay jokes. I have laughed at, I say, so yeah, everything, like it's a trigger for someone. I said, one, you've been a bit unreasonable because I actually didn't say anything negatively. It is true that HPV lives in the majority of people and lies dormant. That's a fact. And so I'm saying that the ability to click and go from your rational self to your irrational self exists in us as well. And it's lying dormant, waiting to be activated. I've said it in a very humorous way. But if just hearing HPV is hard for you, then that's something you have to work on. That is not something that I could do for you. And she got it. She apologized and, whatever. But here's the thing. I can't go through that, what I went with her, with every person that is triggered by something I say. So I get it. I get triggers. But what I love about, I think a classroom, especially a classroom of young people, is very different. A lot of times a classroom of young people shapes how you move in the world as you grow. And so I think that it is realistic to be faced with challenges and then have to navigate those challenges, because the thing about the world, any adult will tell you, any person that's really living life will tell you there are challenges that arise every single day. And the journey of a human being is, how do you maintain your joy? How do you maintain love? How do you maintain peace as you navigate all of the different challenges that life will present to you in many different forms? And so what I really love about this Ask Z is, I don't know why, you didn't tell me why this particular student is saying to another student, KYS. You haven't told me that, but that's okay. You heard it and it did something to you and you spoke up on it. And that's great. Because I often say, like, whenever you guys write in and ask with an Ask Z, and you say, was I unreasonable for being mad? Was I unreasonable for, and I always say, like, an emotion most times is not unreasonable. It's the choice you make given that emotion. This is something you probably will hear me say for as long as I do the show. So you heard it, it triggered you, you were bothered, and then you addressed it. You sought out a solution, which was to express to him that it bothers you. Although he didn't say it to you, but you understand that that can go a longer way than what he may mean. Just like you said, you understand sometimes people joke, but there are people who are fighting suicidal thoughts every single day, and we don't know it. And we don't know what that one thing is. Girl, you should jump off a roof. Yeah, you saying it casually, but there might be one person where that is the breaking point. And so for you to speak up because you understand that, because you know that, because you've lived that, for you to speak up, I think that was very reasonable, especially being a high school student. I'm proud that you did that. And then I'm also really glad to hear that he apologized to you and said that he wasn't going to do it anymore. Now, the only thing that I guess I will be waiting for, maybe you can write back in, is has he kept his word? Are his actions in line? And have you felt more comfortable sharing a space with him? But no, I don't think it's unreasonable to be mad. Now, if you would have got triggered and then started flipping off, here's the thing. I hope this video doesn't get flagged for me saying this. If that triggered you and then you came into the school the next day with a AR-15 or AK-47 and then shot up the classroom, that's unreasonable. I mean, that's devastatingly unreasonable. But for you to be like, I don't like that. You shouldn't say that. This is why you shouldn't say that. Please respect this space. And please respect that that can be detrimental for some people. And he was like, oh, I ain't mean it. Like, I'm sorry. I won't say it again. My bad. I'm sorry. And then if that's the end, to me, that's like success, in my opinion. That's success. So yeah, no, I don't think it was unreasonable for you to be bothered, to be mad. And I'm happy that you spoke up, and I think continue to do the work, because you don't want I always think about life as like driving a car, right? Every time somebody do something crazy on the road, you can't drive off a cliff. You know what I'm saying? You can't drive. Every time somebody doing something crazy on the road, all you can do is drive your car to the best of your ability to get to the destination. But if every time somebody swerve lane, stop short, you drive off the cliff. I hope that helps. Thank you for listening. That's it, you guys. This has been another episode of I'm Reasonable with Zainab Johnson. I will talk to you guys next week, where I think I'll be back in LA. And so you guys will see all my pictures behind me. This wig be getting hot. Thank y'all so much. I'll talk to y'all next week. Until then, y'all know what to do. Stay freaking reasonable.